Hi, my name is Gina Saputo, and these are my back to school slides for my ELA middle school class. So welcome. Welcome back to school. My name is Miss Saputo. I usually like to start by introducing myself, just giving a little background, where I'm from, some things I like to do. I really like introducing myself to the kids. I want to make them make sure they know me. And first, I like to have them introduce themselves to their table because I like to do a team kind of classroom management reward system. So I'll tell my students that you get to come up with your group name and poster, and there's a bunch of ways you can earn points or lose points. And so this is when I kind of start to get into my expectations immediately, right? How we're earning points. We're following classroom procedures. Everybody in their group turn in their assignment, you guys get a point. That also helps them, not only be accountable for themselves, but make sure their whole group is accountable. So I tell them, hey, if you have an assignment due, text your group. Hey, did you guys do the assignment? Keeps everyone, accountable. Some ways you can lose points, not following our rules, talking when the teacher's talking, everyone not turning in the assignment. If they leave and I find the space dirty, that's a point. And then I like to reward the team at the end of the trimester, just with like a little snack or something. And that usually gets them excited, especially at the beginning of the year. And then these are my three core classroom expectations, my three big rules. Be respectful, and that means respecting yourself, your peers, your surroundings, me, right? Everything that includes that. Being prepared. Do you have your supplies? Are your assignments turned in on time? And last but not least, being productive. I really emphasize making sure we're using class time to the best and working diligently. So I have a little sign. I'm in my classroom right now. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a little LeBron that says all my three core classroom expectations. So these are my big three rules. I also talk about voice levels. In class, we always keep it at a 0 to a 2. I'll go through every single voice level and have them demonstrate what it kind of looks like. So we're all on the same page with that. Um, and then here are kind of my consequences and routines for when there are misbehaviors. I always give a warning. And then there is a behavior sheet if the behavior continues. If the behavior continues after the behavior sheet, then there will be a parent meeting. And this is what my behavior sheet looks like. I have them already printed out, ready to go. And I'll also go through the routine of what happens if you do get a behavior sheet. And next, before I list off all the expectations I have for them, I ask them, what do you expect for me? Because this is a reciprocal relationship. So, these are some of the things that got listed at the beginning of the year this year. And I always be like, okay, for sure. Yep, I will make sure I'm doing all these things. And then these are some of my two big procedures that I really like to go over in practice. It's the beginning of class and end of class. So we're grading at the door, we're sitting down, we're grabbing our notebooks, we're doing our warm up, and we're sitting quietly, right? End of class, staying in your seat, raising your hand, writing in your agenda, and then packing up and putting away supplies when I dismiss you. Um, I'll practice these routines until they're perfect. If somebody messes up, that's fine. Let's do it again. And I'll do this for probably about the first few weeks or so of the school year. And then here are some examples of my warm-up slides. That's sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. I'll kind of show them what it's going to look like. Here are some just miscellaneous policies that, I need to go over. Late work, food and drink, turning in assignments. I've found the more I teach, the more I clear and transparent, specific I need to be with my policies because I don't never want to hear, oh, miss, I didn't know that. I didn't know. I had no idea. So me making it really specific like this is really going to help. Here's some more, class calendars, supplies, agenda, all these things that really come into account and make my classroom what it is. It's really important to talk about at the beginning of the year. Um, these are some tech tools that I like to use in my classroom. The biggest one is definitely Google Classroom. It's Google Classroom for most of my assignments, most of my grading. And so I always show them, how to use it and kind of the expectations that come along with it, right? We're not leaving random comments. We're not posting. It's an educational setting. I always tell them that I check your history on your docs. So if you're trying to cheat, plagiarize, or whatever, I can see it all. I also like to use Kahoot. This is one of my, this is a oldie but a goodie, right? It's a old reliable, it helps them really get excited about the material, but also, check their understanding. If we have a vocab quiz the next day and we do a Kahoot on it, it really tells them like, hey, this is what I need to study for. Furthermore, this is again some of my expectations for technology. If there's improper use, there's a warning. If there's continued improper use, we will take the Chromebook away. And then on the right here is my plagiarism policy that I created. That includes ChatGPT, all of that good stuff. And I have them sign it with their parent as well at the beginning of the year. And then, time for questions or comments. And then I always like to wrap up on the first day of school with an all about me, even if I know the kids already, sometimes their interests change. And so I just like to get that good refresh. And I always like to leave a little note at the back after picking something to relate to. Oh, I love that show too, or that food sounds so good, all that. So yeah, that is my end beginning of the school year presentation, and I hope you enjoyed. So thank you so much.